Excuse me. Tell me something, my friend. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Okay, so this is my monster in a box. I looked at a lot of other projects on the internet, and I settled on this design. I like the window in the front where you can see sort of the monster, and I incorporated a used slideshow picture viewer to present the eyes that I use in my prop. This project really requires, I guess, some different skills. One is some woodworking skills. Two is a little bit of familiarity with electronics, and three is pneumatics. I prefer to use pneumatics to make the box move versus any sort of motor or wiper motors. I just felt the box is very heavy, and pneumatics, it does require a compressor, which is a little bit annoying, but overall it really does make the project work well. So let's take a look inside. Over on the right side I have the sensor, and the sensor is used as my trigger, and a lot of these things are used parts I had laying around, or you can find them off eBay or certain electronic stores. So the sensor, the motion sensor, will be my trigger input. So let's go inside here. I made the wood out of I think it was cedar, or maybe it was pine. I did this a while ago. Mostly I just used my nail gun and some wood, and just cut everything on my miter saw to make the box. Take the chains off. Can open the lid. Alright, so the main components inside the monster in the box, first of all you see the fogger, and the fogger I have going into this tube, and then it kind of comes through along here, and if you can see there's holes where the fog will come out on the two sides. So on that side, and then over here on this side, the fog effect can come out. I didn't want the fog so much in the box, so I put it up top so it could escape out of the box. The fogger input I now have wired into my main controller. So I bought this Peekaboo Max from Fright Props. This one was $200. There's different versions of prop controllers. The first time I made this prop I used an Arduino controller, but I had some issues with the controller kind of locking up on me, and it, I spent hours and hours trying to figure out why this controller was not resetting, and eventually the following Halloween I replaced it with this Peekaboo controller, and you get the reliability and assurance that it's going to work, it's not going to fail. It's been rock solid, so definitely worth the money. You can probably get cheaper ones. I don't have a lot of outputs on this device. I have two different pneumatic solenoids. There's the one on the bottom here. This is the one that makes the box move up and down. It's a fairly fat, you can see this, air cylinder, and it's just bolted to the bottom of the box. And the other pneumatic air cylinder is the one for the lid, and this is more of a skinnier type of air cylinder. That just makes the lid go up and down. I guess with pneumatics it can be a little bit hard to find, so you have to kind of scour eBay or Amazon or various surplus stores to see if you can find the pneumatic parts. Those are my two solenoid valves. That's what's going to actuate those two different cylinders. And the other important thing when dealing with pneumatics is you need to control the airflow out of the cylinder to control the speed. So each solenoid has an air control on it where you can adjust the flow of the air, and without that the solenoid would be too fast. The solenoids also have air pressure controller, so the main air in from my air compressor goes to the pressure controller, and I can adjust also the pressure. So between that and the flow controls I can get this prop working nicely. I did this controller does have ability to drive a speaker, so I don't need to have a powered speaker. This is just a regular speaker I have for my sound effects. And I did put some lighting inside for the red glow effect. So the strip LED lighting gives me the effect that there's some glow or some light from the box. And then the last thing, here's the inside. I had just got this used slide show projector or slideshow. It takes an SD card, so I just, on the SD card, I put the video of the eyes, and then I just start that playing before I close up the box. So that's pretty much the inside of this prop. The other thing that's important is the air compressor I use. Now originally I was using this DeWalt compressor, but it's very noisy. You can see when I turn this on. That's a very noisy air compressor. So then later on I had bought this California Air Tools. These are the quietest compressors. It's not running right now, but it is worth the investment to have this if you're going to drive a Halloween prop and you don't want a noisy air compressor. So that's my new favorite toy. When the monster in the box is not triggered, it's going into this ambient mode, and so you can have it play some music or sound effects. And there it's actually doing one of the triggers while it's waiting for somebody to come and activate the sensor. So if I were to come over here now and trigger the sensor, like so,
Excuse me.
now it starts running the animation sequence.
Tell me something, my friend. You ever dance with
Okay, this is the software for controlling the monster in a box. It's from Fright Props. It's called the Director software. And here you can create a new file. And I'm using the Peekaboo Max controller. So here you choose your controller, and you can give your show a name, and then you can start creating your effects. What I'm going to do here is show you one that I've already done. This is the monster in a box, and it's very easy software to use. I don't really want to show you, all the ways of using the software. This is really just going to give you an idea of how it works. So here I've got only one input on this Fright controller, input 1. So this is when you trigger the motion sensor, it's going to start playing the sound effect here. And here it goes. So then
Excuse me.
there's a sound effect, this track here, and then these are the different
Tell me something, my friend.
these are the different outputs. So we got the lid opening up and down, and we got the jumping of the box, and the third output is the fogger. So here it's very easy. You can add, if I want to add some more fog, or if I want to actually take away some of the fog, just click and drag, and my show is as long as my audio clip. So here it plays for about 1.5 minutes, and then here's all my different outputs getting triggered. So very simple. And then when it's not playing an output, when it's just in the ambient mode waiting for a trigger, I've got here 2 different ambient scenes. So this one plays just some kind of background sound effects, and then once in a while I'll just trigger the lid to open, or the box to move a little bit. So just a little bit of motion when it plays the ambient. When it's done playing the ambient or the background track 0 that goes to number 1 plays a different sound effect, and again I just kind of make the box move a little bit, do something so people think that something might be happening to it. And this one goes a little longer for about almost 5 minutes. So once you're done importing your sounds, you can do that here. Different sound effects, you can edit it. When it's all done, you just simply go to copy the firmware to an SD card, plug the SD card into your computer, and then it'll show up as your drive here, and then you can copy the firmware and then take that SD card and put that into your controller. So very friendly software. It only takes a few minutes really to figure out, and you're ready to go.